What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about E3 2023. And if this is true, it just took a major hit. Now, I want to be clear because, whenever I talk about E3, it tends to kind of divide the audience. I do want to make this clear. I love gaming events, okay? So whenever there's a Summer Game Fest or a Gamescom or Game Awards, now a lot of those are Jeff Keighley run, but whenever there's any of it, an Xbox event, a Nintendo Direct, a PlayStation Showcase, I love it. Anytime an event is created for gaming that's meant to literally show brand new games, show brand new things for games that you already know are real, I love it, okay? And I'm always going to take something from it. So although, and I have been pretty hard on E3, I don't think E3 has been worth having for the past 6-7 years. I think it's easily on the decline, and not just because of the last little while, right? The last 3 or so years have obviously been tough for everybody. I'm talking even about before then. I don't think E3 was the same since like 2016, 2017. Those were probably like the last two. So I've always thought that, okay? I just want to kind of throw that out there. Now, the rumor we're talking about in this video, and it is just a rumor, but weirdly enough, it came from IGN. IGN is normally not the ones, I mean, I'm sure they have their sources, and I'm not discrediting them, but they aren't normally ones to do these kind of things, but they did it here. So they did a report that said that Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox, Microsoft, will not be at E3. And then I think Video Game Chronicle kind of doubled down and said, well, at least PlayStation and Nintendo, right? So it seems like only IGN so far has said about Xbox. I do believe it's been confirmed the week of E3 no matter what, or at least it's heavily thought of if it's not confirmed. The week of E3, Microsoft is going to do something separate, I think like down the street anyway. So it's not like Microsoft is going to do nothing in June. They will do something, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sony or Nintendo did something because, E3 is back, right? It's kind of been on again, off again. You try the online-only thing. It kind of fails. You want to do a live show, and then you cancel it like a year before. Like all this stuff that's been happening with E3. And this year, it's for sure happening. Like there is going to be people that go, like human beings, and then also I suppose companies are going to go. And again, on one side, do I think E3 is necessary? No, not really. At least to the extent that E3 is never going to be what you remember, right? So if you watched E3 10, 12 years ago, that's gone. That era is completely gone. And honestly, that era has been replaced with individual events that are smaller, that are kind of scattered throughout the year. That's what and then maybe like the Game Awards, right? That's what we have. That's literally all it is. Now, again, on the flip side of things, to be fair, there's still stuff going. And people have said, as part of these rumors, right? So part of the rumors of no Sony, no Nintendo, no Microsoft, there are people that are saying, set your expectations for like a Gamescom level, not E3 level, right? Not the glory years of E3, set it for Gamescom. Now, honestly, this past year's Gamescom has been the best in the last 5-6 years, like easily. I think this past Gamescom was actually surprisingly good and way better than I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, if that's E3, and that is the flip side, right? I don't think E3 is ever going to be what it is. At the same time, it's a personal event. It's an event in the U.S., right? Gamescom is in Germany. So you got E3 here, and that's not like a slight on the rest of the world. It's just, to have these events, throughout the world, you meet people, you get people. I mean, I think E3 is still probably worth it from a communication standpoint, from people actually being able to go out and drink with each other and all this kind of stuff. I mean, like that really, and people have talked about it before, that's where some like indie games get their start, is they'll go to E3, almost like pitch their games. They'll just talk. People will just talk to each other and ideas kind of get off the ground. That stuff you can never replicate really with online stuff. So it is always going to be important. Again, I just look at it as without those three, and I mean, I'm kind of dancing around the idea, right? This has been like an E3 recap thing. Without Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, yes, it could still be a Gamescom, but who's going to be running it? Now, I did see, I think Gene Park had said it's just going to be a Skull and Bones. It's going to be a 3-day Skull and Bones event for Ubisoft. That's very clever and very funny. But I mean, yeah, Ubisoft would probably carry a lot of it. EA, is EA going? Is Warner Bros. Going, right? Yet again, WB Games, by that point in June, Hogwarts will be out. Suicide Squad will be out. Gotham Knights came out half a year, before at that point. You can show Wonder Woman, perhaps, right? You can show maybe some stuff that's not announced. But you actually, if you're WB Games, you don't actually have that much. I'm just kind of throwing that out there just because, I focus so much on them on the channel. But yeah, you're going to have those kind of companies, the Sega, the Capcoms, them. You're going to have them kind of carry the show because you're not even going to have Microsoft, right? Xbox, Bethesda, for the last little while, whenever it was on again, those have been the ones, and I mean, it's one major company, but they kind of split, right? That's been the one that's kind of driven E3, it seems like. So it's going to be interesting, like attendance and how big is it. Again, I think E3 is never literally going to be what it was. This was considered, and for those that don't know, like this was the show. This was the big dance, to quote Elf. This was a really important thing and the biggest thing that you could do all year. And now it's not. Now I would honestly argue the Game Awards is the biggest thing of the entire. Whether you like it or not, that's totally fine. Whether you think there's too many advertisements, that's totally fine. Right? But I mean, that is the big show. But again, on the flip side, that may not matter, right? You get 10 games from it instead of 20. Well, you still get the 10. And honestly, from a content creator, from somebody who just loves seeing, again, new things for games we already know or brand new games, hey, I'll take 10 games, right? If it's 15 instead of 35, well, it's still 15. You still get that, right? I'll take it. It's not worth me going to. I never will go, all those kind of things. But it's still an event that's worth kind of keeping your eye on, as I do with everything in my life. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.